Well, good morning, everybody. This is Scott Sargent again. Today is Monday, May 14th, 2018, and it's a little over 5 weeks since the first time that I put a video out documenting my road to recovery of psoriasis, so I can share with all of you out there. So I wanted to take a few more minutes this morning and just talk a little bit more in depth about my journey and some details like I had shared in a previous video related to my psoriasis, and then give an opportunity to show some of the progress I've had, which I'm excited about. So I've got a few notes here, so if I look down, it's just because I'm kind of reviewing my notes. I wanted to make sure. So for me, and as I've talked about in previous videos, it's about restoring the body's ability to heal itself. And that's a number of things. As I shared before, a lot of it is about imbalancing the gut. If you talk about the bacteria that's in the intestinal tract, that is good bacteria, and you've probably heard a lot about in the news, or if you read up on flora and probiotics, and how your body needs to have good bacteria in the gut to make sure that it doesn't get an overpopulation of bad bacteria, whether it's sugars or yeast or candida or things like that. And so it's really critical that you work to restore that, and you do that through a number of ways. Most are primarily through diet. That's the introduction of healthy, raw, natural foods, vegetables, some fruits, because in the absence of that, if you continue to feed your body bad foods, or if you take a lot of medications that can upset the balance of good bacteria in your system, it will begin to create health issues. And so it's also about the balance of your body between acidic and alkaline. So your body operates better in a more of an alkaline state, somewhere between 6.2 to 7.2 pH. As your body gets more acidic, below 6.2, things start to go haywire. Your body begins to react different, it's more acidic, and you can start to experience a number of different health issues. For me, as I've been tracking my pH level, the lower my pH level, the worse my psoriasis gets. So what I really focus on is trying to bring my body to a more alkaline state by introducing more alkaline foods and reducing acidic foods. And I'll talk about a little bit more in a minute about my diet. So it's those, for me, it's those sugars, as I talked about in a previous video, is the elimination of sugars in the system or in my diet, and the elimination of things in my diet that turn to sugar in my system. So obviously it's processed sugars I've eliminated. Things that turn to sugar, dairy, grains, wheat, barley, oats, things of that nature. As I eliminate those, it doesn't give my body, my intestinal tract, the opportunity to take those foods into my system, convert those into sugars, and then feed the bad bacteria, because bad bacteria in your system feeds primarily on sugars. So by elimination of those, helps those die off, and then as you replace those with good bacteria or supplements. Now I talked earlier about the fact that I don't take any supplements, but I will talk about in a minute that I do take a probiotic to help repopulate some of that flora. So as a lot of you out there are struggling to come up with a diet that works for you, because changing your diet sounds easy, but when you actually get into the mechanics of it, it can seem really difficult, because you're changing a lifestyle. So if you're used to eating a lot of processed foods and a lot of sugary foods, your body's going to crave those, and in turn, you're going to find yourself inadvertently or subconsciously eating all of those. So to make the shift to really begin to eat a lot of vegetables and cut out all of those other processed foods, it takes discipline, it takes commitment, it takes discipline. But as we walk through this, and I'll show you in a few minutes, the effort's definitely worth it. So for me, Kind of what I eat during the day is, and I shared before, I've really resisted adding any fruits into my diet initially. I'm eating a couple of things now, and I'll share with you, but so in the morning I will have, I keep plenty of fresh avocado in my house. So I'll have maybe a fresh avocado with a little bit of salt on it. I may have a half of a sweet potato that I cooked the night before. I'll have a date, so I love dates, fresh dates. I may have a date as just a little treat, if you will, in the morning. And if I do have fruit, it may be half a banana or a piece of melon. Melon's a low sugary fruit. And then and for me, every morning I'll take a glass of room temperature water and either squeeze a half of a lemon in there and have that in the morning, or I'll have a teaspoon of raw apple cider vinegar in my water, and I'll do that in the morning and I'll do that in the evening as well. For me, again, it's about returning the body moving the body from an acidic state to an alkaline state. Citrus juice in water and even raw apple cider vinegar, while it sounds acidic, and it is, it actually converts to an alkaline base in your system and helps to promote that alkalinity in your system. And then I do eat some small amounts of protein. I don't do any eggs just because it is an allergen, and as I work through the elimination of certain foods, reducing my diet to a specific number of foods to allow my body to heal. I may introduce eggs later, but for now, that's a protein that I don't do. So I'll eat a little bit of fresh chicken, maybe in the morning, maybe on my salad for lunch, and maybe at dinner I'll mix it up. Maybe a little bit of ground turkey, and just a lot of fruits, or excuse me, a lot of vegetables, a lot of avocado, sweet potatoes, squash, zucchini. I keep a bag of raw almonds with me just because they're a little snack, and raw almonds are very alkaline and they're very good for you. I use only olive oil, whether I'm having it on my salad or as an addition to some of my foods. And sea salt, I don't use any iodized salt, just a personal preference. Sea salt and whatever I put it on there. And then as far as any additional liquids, I do keep some unsweetened coconut milk in my refrigerator, and I'll have that occasionally. So sounds like a very basic diet, and I think I said, if I didn't say asparagus too, asparagus is great. So any of those green vegetables, those raw vegetables, cauliflower, things that you can add the fiber to your body, add the alkalinity, add those nutritional things that will feed your system and make those bad bacteria die off, is the direction that you want to go. So what's forbidden? So those are the things that you can eat. What are the things you should stay away from? If you've had psoriasis for any length of time and you've read up on it, you'll read that nightshades are a no-no, and they can exacerbate the problem of psoriasis. So those nightshades are tomatoes, eggplant, tobacco, things that bring, again, acidity to your system, can inflame your intestinal tract and ultimately push it out to your skin. So you want to stay away from nightshades. Red meats, it's your preference. You can see how it works for your system as you're walking through your healing journey. I tend personally to stay away from them. I will have a little bit of lamb just because I love lamb. That's easily digestible, but for the most part I try to stay away from red meats on this journey. Eventually I will begin to add a little bit of that back into my system and then begin to watch it. Any processed foods, if it's on a shelf, in a box, in a bag, don't eat it. You don't need it. Your body doesn't need it. It's got a lot of preservatives and a lot of added extras you don't need. Give your body what it needs. Give it just clean, healthy foods. You can do it. Again, I mentioned no grains, no soft drinks, no soda water. I love water and I love the sparkling effervescence of water. And sometimes I add lime in there. However, it does make it acidic by adding that carbon dioxide into the water. Turns it to kind of like carbonic acid. So I stay away from that, at least for now. Strawberries, pineapples, high sugar fruits, I try to stay away from it. No alcohol. Alcohol is, I like alcohol, I like my beer, but for the purposes of my healing and my process, you don't need it. It's hard on the system, it's hard on the organs. Stay away from it. Do your body a favor. Just eliminate it for now. And then the three things that aren't related to diet are sleep. Sleep is so important. For those of you out there that maybe you're functioning on 4, 5, 6 hours of sleep, your system really needs more. Your brain, your body, for the health and well-being. If you can get 8 hours a night, it helps your tissues repair. It gives your mind a chance to repair. That may mean rescheduling your routine. I mean, maybe going to bed earlier, getting up a little later if you can. Just work to that 8 hours a day. Your body really needs it, and over time you'll see how beneficial it is. Exercise. Can't emphasize the need for exercise. It moves the acids, the lactic acid, and everything out of your system. It helps through perspiration. You move those toxins out of your body. Get up, move every day, even if it's just a walk. Get out and walk 15, 20 minutes. Do some sit-ups. I like to do pull-ups. Just something to exercise my muscles. Get the body moving, get the heart rate up. It is so critical towards your road to healing, is to get some exercise every day. And then if you have an opportunity to take care of your mind. So often we think about taking care of our body physically and what we eat and how we exercise, but we oftentimes ignore the fact that our mind needs rest too, right? I like to meditate in the morning. I like to take 15, 20 minutes when I wake up and just get quiet and let my mind clear. For me, I think about the things that I'm grateful for. I reshift my focus of my mind on those things that are good and are healthy, that bring peace, and try to remove some of that stress, specifically when you're dealing with psoriasis and the anxiety of being out in public or just looking at your skin every day and seeing that the redness and the patching can create a lot of anxiety and ultimately depression. And so it's really important that you focus on them and are aware of the state of your mind and focus on that. I find meditation is a really good way to do that. So take a few minutes every morning, try to clear your mind, and you'll be amazed at the results. So let me just take a couple minutes and kind of give you a view of how my skin's doing. It is progressing, and I'm excited about that. So it's a long, slow road, but it is healing. And I'm doing it naturally, and I'm excited about the progress, but most importantly, I'm excited about sharing my progress with you to give you some hope. So today, if you look at some of my earlier videos, you can see where my arms were. Again, still kind of red, but what I want you to be able to see here is the clearing that's happening inside of these areas. And as you can see, as I've shared before, some of those spots that were darker here, you see how they're lightening up and they're turning kind of white or natural skin in the midst of the dark. So that is the process of healing. And this is what you're looking for. So you can see, I'll bend this down a little bit. Again, I don't know if it's easy to see on camera, but the lightening of this, and again, I shared in the last video that my arms are always the last to heal. It is happening. Again, more clearing here. You can see it lightening in the center. Some spots are just starting to lighten inside the red. Back back is slowly getting lighter, and still, you know, again, a little bit on my nose. This area is still holding on. I'm going to take this camera out a little bit and show you my legs, because that's where I begin to see some of the initial healing. So as you can see here, this area here is starting to lighten up and just open up and heal. These areas here, if you look in prior videos, these spots are all disappearing. Same with this area here. Again, this spot is almost gone. These spots are lightening up. Excuse me while I turn this camera around. These areas right here are, if you can see it, are dissipating and going away. So the process, excuse me, put this back in here. The process is definitely working, and healing is coming in my body because I'm taking care of it and feeding it what it needs. And I'm excited, and I'm excited to share it with you. And as we continue to go through the upcoming weeks, you're going to see more and more healing. And I want you to, I hope that you would take some of this information, apply it to your own life, and just have hope and know that it works, and begin to experience some healing for yourself. So that's all I have for today. Again, if you have any comments, please leave them, and I'll respond as I can. Like this video, and let me know what you think. All right, you all have a great week, and we'll talk soon. All right, bye.